So I am enjoying sunbathing. Lovely hot day, but I need to say that my beta fish is now ill. So I have one big blue fish. Only had it since February, so I don't I swear they're supposed to last like 2 years, not 3 months. Don't seem to be very good at looking after fish. But technically, my fish tank is kind of overcrowded, so it wouldn't be the worst thing if it goes. Basically, I'm not going to be replacing it, but yeah, it's gotten sick and there's like some sort of white stuff growing around its face, and I didn't know what it was because I noticed it kept hiding, and it and then when I found, eventually went to see it, I noticed it looked like it had like something on it, and it looked kind of like bite marks. And then I realized that one of the orange males, the only orange male, I've got one orange male, that I think was biting it. And because I saw it when I was feeding, it did come out from its hiding place, and I fed it, and it bit, and then it quickly went into hiding again. So I put it in the other tank, um, but in the other tank, I don't know what went wrong with it because it was floating on the water, but it looked dead. Like it looked really sick. It was almost like me changing it from one tank into the other. I know the second tank I have is closer to the window, so it has a lot more algae in it because the light. I thought the light would be good because it would heat up the water, but it doesn't. It actually just makes it more algae, and therefore you need to clean it more often. And I've put a curtain over it, so it's I've drawn the curtain out a bit more, so it is fine. But yeah, it didn't look very well in there. And then I put it back into the main one, the bigger one, and again it got a bit and then quickly went to hide. But I thought at least the water's better or something, and then I kind of realised that maybe what's happened is, I think I know what's happened, which is that it is just generally getting sick. And I don't know why. It's just maybe old age or something. It's generally getting sick, and I think that's what's causing the this orange male to attack, because I noticed the same thing happened with the last tank. There was with the last, I had an orange red male, and I had 12 babies, and it was really strange because I know all the 12 babies were female. Two of them died, so they got bound down to 10. I've given one back to the shop because I did have too many, and now for some reason I've only got 7. So I don't know what's happened to 2 of the smaller ones. I think a third one must have died. But I think some of them times they get eaten and then you never see them again, or you don't realize that they're dead because they get eaten before that. Um, but but yeah, so but yeah, it's really strange though with this second orange, this because that the orange, the ready orange male died, um, and but yeah, I don't know what happened because there is an orange male in there, but it wasn't male before. I swear they were all female because I really wanted, another male so that when the ready orange male died, there would be one to take its place. And I noticed the ready orange one kept hiding, and it was almost like it was being chased or attacked by something, but I could not see which one. And it was only after it died, and after it died as well, it had its stomach eaten very, very quickly. So it was almost like it was killed rather than died. But after that happened, I noticed that the second biggest fish was actually a male, which was really strange because it was a female. I looked really carefully on all of the fish; they were all female, and so it's really bizarre how one of the fish seemed to have got a sex change. Like, is that possible? Like, there's you can tell they're female because they have like a triangle underneath them, but this is not a triangle; it's a line. But I swear it was a triangle. Like, you know, up for like months, for 6 months or something. It was a triangle, and it's definitely a line now. But there hasn't been any new babies, so I'm suspicious on whether or not it is actually just a, can fish have sex changes? I don't know. But anyway, this one, the other one died, was eaten. So there is now one male, or one that looks male, although I'm really suspicious if it is male because it didn't look male in the first 6 months. Not only that, but it is acting male though, because it is attacking, it's being a dominant male of the tank. And I think the reason why it's attacking the beta fish, because it wasn't doing that before, but it is doing now. I thought maybe it was attacking it, and that was the reason why the beta fish was getting ill because of being attacked. But I did actually put it in the second one again. I cleaned out the water a bit more, emptied it by half, and then refilled it, so it looks better. And I put it in, and I think it's not actually a case of there being too much algae in the water. I think it's just a case of it's generally getting sick. And I think the orange male that I thought was a female, but that one, I think it just realizes that this fish is sick. And when it realizes that a fish is sick, it starts attacking them, because it's kind of like nature's way of being kind. If something's ill, it needs to die so that it can get a new body, a new life. And I feel like that is nature's way. If something is sick and can't defend itself, an animal comes along and kills it. And it might seem harsh and it might seem cruel, but it's actually what's best, because it stops the animal from suffering. And so I feel like what it's doing, when the reddish orange one, that one started, it did start looking ill, it did start looking old, it started looking feeble. I think I had it for about 6 months, but it might have already been, fairly, might have already been 6 months at the point I got it. So maybe it is a year old, and maybe it was just dying. And this other male, which I thought was a female, became more aggressive towards it because it was sick. And maybe the same thing is happening with this beta one. So it's not that it's sick because it was being bitten, but rather it was sick. It was being bitten because it was sick. That's just a thought, and what I actually believe is the case. But yeah, um, the slight whiteness. It had a slight whiteness on its face, but it's now looking very white. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to live much longer. But I don't think it's the water, and I don't think it's being attacked. I think it's because of being bitten. I think it's just feeling sick, because all it's doing in the second one is hiding too. Which makes me think, because the beta ones are the ones that the Americans kept in tiny little pots, and I didn't think they liked being in tiny little pots. But it's interesting how now that it's old, it actually does love to hide itself in some sort of small confined space. So all fish are different. That's what I'm learning from them, and beta fish are acting differently to the others, because the others don't like hiding in small confined spaces, whereas this one does. So although I still don't think it should be put in pots. Small places where there's like flowing water that goes through it is fine. But yeah, I'm just giving some information on my fish. And yesterday I came across, I can't even say his name, Zane. I think it's actually Zane, isn't it? It's probably just Zane. But yeah, I've never followed this guy, know nothing about his songs. I'm pretty sure, I think he's the guy who dated Selena. I don't know. I know she dated a guy that looked similar to him. Um, but yeah, I think he's definitely the angel of compassion. Why I haven't been following him or watching his songs or anything, I don't know. Probably because I think my only memory of him was that he was a bit soppy, which wasn't really my type, and he's a bit young for me. Um, but yeah, I was thinking yesterday that I don't want, angel of no compassion. Finally I found an angel that has no negative side. That's what I was thinking last night, but I was very tired. And then this morning, I was going through more of his songs. It's dusk till dawn, and that reminded me of this stalker thing, because this morning, just before I listened to this dusk till dawn song, I was thinking, well, there are cases of unwanted compassion. You have a friend that wants to show you compassion, but showing you compassion for the wrong reasons. And you can have um, a relationship like a stalker that you don't want to be a stalker, or and is wanting to be in a relationship with you even though you don't want that back. That's another type of it. Actually, that happened yesterday too. Actually, some client who lives in Malvern, which is where my uncle is. He wanted to come over, and I said, I'm not doing massage any longer. And he was just like, oh, just for a drink, I just want to show you, I don't know if they use the word compassion, but he just wanted to chill out. And I think compassion is what he's thinking, because that guy was pretty much like that. But sometimes you're just not interested, you just don't like, or don't want to, or, you don't, there's different reasons. So actually, angel of no compassion is not necessarily that he has no compassion, but people have no compassion sometimes because of reasons. So yeah, I think how I'm thinking about the card if I write for him and what I'm going to write, and these are just some of the things that I'm thinking.